Happy Thanksgiving from Drive-Thru History. This week, get 22% off Adventures All Access when you use the code Thanksgiving. I'm grateful for all of you.
If we're going to talk about the history of Thanksgiving, we have to talk about the history of my favorite part, the traditional Thanksgiving feast. First up, turkey. Thanksgiving and turkey go hand in hand. The big, meaty game bird has probably been part of the Thanksgiving spread since the very beginning. In fact, William Bradford, the governor of Plymouth Plantation, journaled about what the pilgrims ate that first fall feast. He mentioned venison, waterfowl, cod, shellfish, and eels. Ugh, I hate those slimy things. Along with vegetables, nuts, fruit, and corn. As a highlight, he wrote, and besides waterfowl, there was a great store of wild turkeys, of which we took many. Today, according to the National Turkey Federation, yes, that's a thing, nearly 90% of Americans eat the big bird on Thanksgiving. While I love turkey, I broke with tradition a few years ago and went with the turducken. That's right, a chicken stuffed into a duck, stuffed into a turkey. Gotta say, it was pretty darn good. I soon discovered the concept has a long history outside of North America, especially in the UK, where it's known as a three-bird roast or a royal roast. In England, they often replace the turkey with a goose, the gooducken. The gaps within the birds are often filled with seasoned breadcrumbs, sausage meat, or some other kind of stuffing. The result is a firm, layered poultry concoction ready for roasting, braising, or even the Texas barbecue. Next up, stuffing. Americans have been stuffing turkeys with family recipes for generations. I'm partial to my friend's Simon and Garfunkel recipe, which includes parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Get it? Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. And never mind. When it comes to stuffing, what many don't know is that the most popular ingredient for centuries was oysters. Yes, what is now an expensive delicacy was once a plentiful and inexpensive source of protein. In early American homes, oysters were used to stuff turkeys and other game birds to stretch the meal, thus the term stuffing. Oysters were also used in breads, sauces, pies, soups, and stews. Who knew? Cranberry sauce, the turkey's other most popular dinner companion, is next. In medieval England, cranberries were known as mossberries due to the fruit's boggy habitat. In early America, the name cranberry came from German settlers in the 17th century who called the food craneberry. According to tradition, cranberry refers to the long stamen of the fruit's flower, which looks like a crane's neck. Crane, you get it. Cranberries were mentioned in a colonial writing dating to 1672, saying, Indians and English use it much, boiling them with sugar for a sauce to eat with their meat. By 1796, a widely used cookbook called American Cookery suggested the traditional way to roast turkey was with boiled onions and cranberry sauce. So there you go. The reason we put little fruits with our meat on Thanksgiving. Next, sweet potatoes with marshmallows. Although not my thing, many view the Thanksgiving meal as incomplete without this marriage of the tuber with caramelized gooiness. The tradition seems to date back to the 1800s when the national Thanksgiving holiday really took off in America. Northerners discovered sweet potatoes, long eaten in the South, and incorporated them into their traditional meal. Now, marshmallows had just become a new thing in France, where chefs beat the roots of the marshmallow plant with egg whites and sugar. In Europe, they were a rare handmade treat. The marshmallows went mainstream in America after entrepreneurs substituted cheap gelatin for the expensive marshmallow root and figured out how to manufacture the sweet lump of chewiness on a mass scale. In 1917, the Angelus Marshmallows Company distributed a recipe booklet with all the ways Americans might use marshmallows, including the classic pairing with the sweet potato. And now for desserts. Pumpkin pie. The English were masters at wrapping anything in a crust, from meats to vegetables to fruits. In fact, English cookbooks featured pumpkin pie recipes as early as the 1600s. Thus, American colonists grew pumpkins from their earliest years in the New World. And there's a long legacy of pumpkin pies being a part of holiday meals. By the 1800s, pumpkin pie was synonymous with Thanksgiving. In 1869, the Connecticut Courant, the oldest continuously published newspaper in America, declared turkey and pumpkin pie as the, quote, two inevitable Thanksgiving dishes. So, now you know a little bit more about the history of the traditional Thanksgiving meal. It's time to eat. Oh, hi. Dave Stotts here. I'm out in the field with Trigger, and I'm here to tell you, hit like and subscribe. I mean, how hard can it be? And while you're at it, click the little bell up top for more of me.